Balance is not something you find. It's something you create. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So what are we looking at tonight with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? A little sideways action on the price, pretty much. Everyone telling us the price is going to be heading downwards. But you know what? I'm doing a little bit of thinking, right? And questioning, right? You question yourself. You question things about Bitcoin. And then I was like, wait, why am I questioning what the price of Bitcoin is today? It's not really about what the price of Bitcoin is today. What it's really about is this guy, Satoshi Nakamoto, got up off his ass and did something about the banking crisis, right? And we all believed in it. And that's why Bitcoin has value. And then I started thinking some more, and it was every single day, people are waking up and they're not wanting to be part of this fiat slavery, this crisis, this situation that we're all born into, right? I've come to realize I was born into it. I'm going to die part of it, where I got to go work and spend most of my time stressing out over about this stuff that doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. And it's that I think the future is going to be brighter. And I think that everyone's eventually going to wake up to this. The only question I still find is, how do we show everyone out there who realizes that there's a problem with fiat cash that Bitcoin is out there, and it's an answer, and it's a key. And yes, you can poke holes and naysay and all of this about Bitcoin and different things, but what are you going to do that's better, right? That's the real question. Is it's an answer to a problem. And the problem is fiat doesn't work for anyone except for those who have a lot of it, right? The system is designed to keep those who don't have it down, and the people that have it to keep them generating more and more of it. Yes, there's governments and politicians and possibly not this revolution that I keep speaking of, and many others do as well, that you could lobby and get bills and all of this. But you know what? That system's broken because the fiat system has taken over it. They have all those people in their pocket. They pay for all of that. That's on their game board. That's why Bitcoin's different. And right now, as we're out here and everyone is saying no and nay and Bitcoin's going to $1,000, I'm just hearing there's a reason they want to shut this down, because there's a lot of us that know that Bitcoin is going to be part of the future, because fiat doesn't work for anyone. I want something I can trust in. I want something I can validate. I want something that's verifiable and secured by millions of quadrillion hashes out there, right? As we see these all-time high hash rates. As we get closer and closer to this happening, you say the same old supply, demand, but right, I've brought up before that you got to have people wanting Bitcoin. And it doesn't pay for bread, milk, and eggs. But the fact that the future is digital is on the tip of everybody's tongue, as hacks are stealing identities and credit cards and everything else faster than you could blink an eye at it. So me and my wonderful co-host Samantha over here.
Good evening, everyone.
Are going to keep fighting the good fight. We're going to keep preaching the word of Bitcoin, right? We're going to keep free help desk. Email link to down below. If you got questions, if you want to talk, it's there. Other than that, we got our live. We got the chat. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what you got going on in Bitcoin. We want to know why you're still in the game, right? Why you didn't just come in, get Lambo eyes, jump on the first altcoin, go for that little ride up and down, do a little leverage trading. And the next thing you know, you're broke and you're back to work at the factory and you're putting in 60 hours to be able to try to pay the bills so that maybe you could drag yourself out of bed early on Saturday morning to spend time with the wife and kids.
That sounds super fun.
Well, I've been there and done that.
Yeah, we saw thanks to Facebook's Throwback.
I know, you got to love those throwbacks on Facebook.
I'm telling you,
Sometimes they're uplifting. Sometimes they really get you and they're gut wrenching, especially when you get the people that have passed in your life.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, ooh, man, I am glad I have changed from that picture of 8 years ago.
I know. You were so white, and we're in Florida. Like, I mean, pasty.
So what do we got going on over there? Is anybody joining us in that chat? Are we ranting about this magical internet money? Am I trying to preach to an empty room here about the revolution that's maybe only in my head?
Well, you still have your soapbox, so it's fine. Andy Anderson is here. He says, Bitcoin, everyone.
Andy Anderson, now I know it's a good day, right?
John from Malibu is here.
John from Malibu, that makes it a party.
John says, bought some Bitcoin last night, and so did my ex-wife.
Nice. Well, hey,
Right?
I mean, and then maybe if the price goes up, she won't be after you for any money then, right?
Maybe it's kosher. They could have like prenups and whatnot. I mean, some people really actually think about their, wealth as they can join whatnots. When you don't got nothing, it don't matter.
If you're thinking of the future, you never got married in the first place.
Andy Anderson says, Happy New Year. I know.
Happy New Year's.
It's so close.
I know. I got a good feeling about 2020. I mean, it's more than just the happening, right? It's just that it's been a couple of years since the bull run, right? That's usually a good sign that there should be good things afoot. Besides that, I think we're going to make some big strides this year as awareness has grown in Bitcoin. Once again, the calendar's lining up real nice. I always love it when the calendar lines up nice. You get Christmas on a Friday, the 4th on a Friday, right? Taco Tuesday.
For what?
Cinco de Mayo.
That makes sense. Of course, that makes sense. You are so corny.
Hey,
down inside.
To me, I know that I'm standing here on this side of the fence looking that way, and it's all 2020 over there. And right now, it's like, wow, just from the calendar, it's looking pretty good. We got a happening. We got the dates all lining up for the holidays. We got, personal things going on as well that look prospective.
Your Facebook, what? Somebody had posted that this year there will be 420 for a whole month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Somebody used all their little brain cells to spark that little.
Well, I mean, I seen yesterday in the mail, we got the petition to be able to legalize marijuana here in Florida. So I think that'll be on the ballot here in 2020. I'm sure that'll make a lot of people happy as well.
You never know. I mean, hey,
I remember when we used to get out here and talk about how the members of the crypto or cannabis industry weren't able to partake in the banking industry, so that cryptocurrency was an alternative. I mean, that was a really big hot ticket item for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it really was, because I think now they have passed something, right, where they're able to like
they're working on
somewhere in between. But yeah,
I mean, I don't own a lot of pot stocks or anything, so that's not my
But when you have millions of dollars as a business and you can't put it in a bank account, you can't. Those are big problems for however many people own.
I got too much cash laying around. That's always such a problem.
Like, no. All right. So, John from Malibu said they did it together. All good. See,
nice,
kosher. Bitcoin and the boy says VPN says I'm from Ireland.
Nice.
Ours say we're from Russia quite a lot, and Germany. I think it's one
Germany
of those.
Is one of the big ones. I mean, the VPNs, that's always still a debatable area, unless you paid for it with Bitcoin, that you also went through an anonymized, especially the free VPNs. VPNs are also supposedly some of the cheaper ones are keeping track of your information and still selling it to the governments and corporations on the back end.
Oh, man, you don't say.
Yeah. So, I mean, trusting and all of that of third parties, it's always a big problem,
Man, I don't trust no one. That's why no one sees my face. All right.
Right. You're not getting mugged on the street. People are going to come up and jump me on the street.
Well,
they're going to know who Eugene is.
If I talk, then I could be screwed, possibly, because I've been told my entire life I do not have a normal voice.
They're just going to come hit the hot chick that's standing next to Eugene.
Well, that's true too, right? Unless she opens her mouth and doesn't sound like me, then it's going to be just, oh, so sorry, random stranger. Oh, all right. John from Malibu says that we are all going to be fine. Sometimes it feels like we are on thin ice, but no risk, no reward.
Yeah, and it really, when everyone is saying no in cryptocurrency, that is always the first indicator. Everyone likes to have all these, technical analysis indicators. I tell you guys all the time that mine is, because Bitcoin is the way that it is, it's public opinion, right? It's swayed by public opinion and the way that people's mindsets are. So when everyone's out here saying no, that means it's going to flip. The price of Bitcoin is going to be going up before you know it.
It's like, do what I say, not what I do-ness. Like, it's really... See, this is why I do not like technical analysis. I get the whole, okay, I can see like patterns and spikes. The fact that human like psyche has to come into that at any way to like be a part. No, because how do you, that's why it used to be the magic 8 ball, because it is just like, dude, I mean, people are so on a dime. Change, bam, I'm pro, I'm against, I'm this, I'm that. I mean, it's hard to read the room.
What the words have come up. I forget who said it. I don't remember if it was a tweet or a quote, but Bitcoin going from 0 to 200 was a miracle. Going from 200 to 20,000, that was just a matter of time. And that is really true. The fact that enough people believed in it in the beginning is what makes this what it is. Right? The fact that we're all saying there's a problem with fiat cash and we need something that we can validate, something where no player in the game is able to obscure the data sheet to say what he wants or what she wants, regardless of political agenda or power or whatever. So when you take people out of the situation, unfortunately, is what the key ingredient is here, and you've written
we're the scummy part. I know
you've written this blockchain, right? And we're all participants, we're all equal in it.
Man, this is how Skynet got, like, I swear to you, I swear there is going to be a metal hand in a jar here in 100 years. Oh, whatever It's cool.
I mean, you always go down the rabbit hole with these things, Samantha, but it's the ideal that
all I am is rabbit hole.
If you're going to make money, everyone's life is about money. People live and die based on money, right? It is the number one goal in everyone's life, and it has been for generations, right? So here we go. Money is the number one thing to everything and everyone. Why do we have certain people in control of it?
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
How do you get to be in control of everyone else's life?
I mean, and why don't we ever rotate? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, king for a day type deal. Nothing, nobody, always the same people. Yeah, always the same corporations, always the same. They started it. That's why they get to be the ones. Like, it's easy.
The Illuminati,
they made up the game. If you made up the game, then don't you get to have all of it?
Yes. If you make the board right, that's why it's small cities. You got to keep everybody together so you can control them.
Well, it's probably a lot easier. I'm just saying. Masses
all right,
are
well, we're way off on some tangents tonight. What do we got going on? Anything in the chat? Because otherwise I do have a little bit of news in order to talk about or incite some conversation here, as we're constantly trying to spread Bitcoin awareness here on the channel, because we want to change the world, right? And we know that Bitcoin is the answer here to change this fiat crisis.
All right, so Vengeance here. Hey,
Vengeance, buddy, my friend. I'm glad that you're here.
Bitcoin and the Boys says Proton VPN is good. See, you like Proton.
I do like Proton.
See. You might want to look into that one. Vengeance said that he's waiting for 6,999. If it's hits that, then I'm gonna add to my stack. Well, you are a smart man, Vengeance, so.
I don't know, there was talk of us not breaking some barriers and the price coming back down to like the 6,000s again. I mean, time tells. I don't play these these short-term games with Bitcoin. It is still a matter of the revolution, right? As long as there are people, I mean, I don't want to say like me, but with the ideal of the revolution at the forefront of why they hodl their Bitcoin, the game of dollars doesn't matter.
John from Malibu saying that they need a tax slave class. Invention is saying, yep, doesn't matter if they're rich. They need us poor to be in order to order us around. Yeah, I know. I mean, yes, when you're starving and you're tired and exhausted from your crappy job that is still having you starve and your kids are unhappy and everybody's everything, who's fighting the good fight then? You're just trying to like get your 4 hours of sleep so that you can crawl back in and punch that time clock.
Well, I mean, they say that moments of human enlightenment don't occur until the glass is half full, right? And then you have to have a generation or two of that.
Yes, all the Renaissance periods. Yes.
So as we look at what's happening now, if you were to want to put it in those kind of perspectives, why would they want our glass to be half full? Then we're going to want to do these things that you hear about. We're going to want to put the earth first. We're going to want to develop a better form of money. We're going to want to, invent better forms of energy instead of these things that are money-making machines, right? That are for the 1% out there that have developed these corporations that are constantly making the money by turning out the war machine, the petrol machine,
when the game
automotive
started,
machine.
It was never gonna, you know what I mean? There was all the natural resources in the world, all the money you could print. Like when this game started, there wasn't an end. We're just at the end. Like there is no.
I mean, we're not at the end. We're just at a moment of stress. It's just, is it enough stress right now to help flip the script? Or is it just going to be a crack to show how deep that we might be going?
Andy Anderson says, never let myself think I was poor. I just try to think that a lot of other people are really wasteful.
I don't know. For a long time, like I did grow up poor. So for a long time, I always tried to like have a front of, that I was equal or better or something. And then what I come to think now is it's more like I look at myself and I think that I'm very healthy. There is absolutely nothing wrong with me. And I mean, the tall, decent looking guy, there's nothing I can't do. So
yep, you can speak coherently.
Right, I can read, I can write, I have a college education. So I'm not going to make excuses for myself.
Yeah.
I just have to get out there and go do it. So try to study money, right? Came into Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin did great things for us, but the road's not done. And right now, as Bitcoin seems to take a lull, we're still continuing on our path of evolution, right, Samantha? We got our small business up and going. Samantha's possibly looking at making another career change, something closer to the house, cut down on her commute. So as always, staying in motion.
If it's not working, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I'm at fault myself. I am not I like my safety areas. But in the last, probably a year before we actually found Bitcoin, I started being like, and he'd be like, if you're unhappy at that job or you're unhappy in this and that, just change. And I never wanted to. I was always like, but they give me a paycheck and that, or this or that. And it's like, why would I do that? Well, because you come home and you sit there and rant about it for an hour, every day when you get home because you hate it. And I can't stand it either. So and I would, and it has come about that now I do just go, okay, I'm sorry. Peace out. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm a lot happier.
I mean, it's nice to be able to put feelings and things ahead of money. So, you know what I mean? You can't always do that. But it is nice when you can say, hey, happiness is way more important than money.
No, we've also taken jobs where we literally have known that we were going to have nothing but horribleness for 6 months or something. But there was a point and a purpose.
Yeah.
So, do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. I like it, Sammy.
All right. So, John from Malibu says, we are going to win this wealth flipping, guys, and the meek shall inherit the earth. Invention says same here. He was just went unusually frugal.
I mean, it's just a matter of time, right? Because the cracks in the dollar are continuing to show. We see that every 8 to 10 years, there is a big problem. And we're coming back up on another one again. And yes, it may not. I'm not a doomsday prepper, right? Like, I'm not one
There's no bunker.
So it's just.
Not yet, anyways.
It may not be the one, but it's a more of a situation of it's showing you the path on the road. It's all of a sudden you flash the high beams and you can see where you're going. So eventually people will wake up. I just hope that they see that Bitcoin is the solution before, the things that can happen, right? You had down all those quantum computing and other cryptocurrencies and, closed systems, Fed coins and things like that.
I mean,
that's why I keep saying, we all have to do our part, right? We all have to do more than just hodl Bitcoin, right? We have to talk about it.
We have to look past this moment and ourselves. You have to want something better and more. Like, whatever it is, whatever your avenue is, you gotta, you have to want better. And Bitcoin is better.
I don't know. It's a lot to ask of people to try to give of themselves when they're already put in such a bad situation. It is that whole, the glass isn't half full for a majority of people out there. So how can you ask them to give of themselves when they're already struggling to survive? And it's that you need to find these key individuals, these great influencers out there that are willing to do this, because that's how we're going to make permanent change, right? As we talk about the generation that's going to use Bitcoin isn't even born yet. Well, that's because we have to educate them. What is the next generation? Generation Z, I think they're calling them now.
No clue.
We have to educate Generation Z about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. They don't educate the children about what money is and finances. No. So, like right now, I'm going through with my son and trying to teach him about debt and credit and, having physical cash and the differences between them and, how you can manipulate the situations to your benefit. So they need to be doing that in school. If not, we need to take responsibility as the parents or the, guardians, right? Yeah, the influencers of the young.
I mean, yes, it was horrifying because I actually knew a little bit more because I had taken economics in high school or something, and they broke down, how it originally had started money, but not this money, now money. But I mean, our child had no concept. I mean, none. He was just like, it's the Federal Reserve. And I was like, oh my, and that was it. I mean, I think it.
When I stepped out of high school, I just kind of had this ideal, what? Everybody makes what? Poverty's 30,000. So every job pays 30,000 a year, right? I mean.
Yeah, right.
If you
could have a job and be even under poverty. You could be down there somehow.
Right, but it was coming from high school, it's like poverty is supposed to be what? I think I heard the statistical number of 30,000. So isn't every job just pay 30,000 a year? Right? We're not in South America.
We're also not in Mother Russia.
So,
I mean, yes. I mean, yeah.
Confusion, right? Confusion is one of their keys, one of their tricks. Mystery, I don't know. Just like when you go to what's your credit score? Why are there two different ones? Buying a house,
Yes, and let's explain to the board that you check your credit score like a crackhead. That affects your credit score. Because that means that you're really trying to do something with this credit score. It's not as bad as it used to
be, Samantha. Now they got wonderful credit karma that'll do it
for you. Oh my dear God, credit karma. Pshaw.
So what do we got in the chat? Anybody got anything going on tonight? Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about what's going on with Bitcoin?
Josh says, Ken Bozek thinks toasters will mine Bitcoin. Toasters. You never know. Is it going to be one of those big ones? Like toaster oven toasters?
See, I don't see things like that in the future. I see a lot of things running nodes to validate transactions. I think that mining is definitely going to become not centralized as much, but I don't think that there'll be every mechanical piece of machine out there under the sun mining Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I think that it is only capable of being profitable to the most sophisticated of computers and the latest of technologies because of the race for energy and hash and everything else. So I don't see my toaster running hashes just as fast as my TV run hashes, just as fast as the guy over there who's invested a couple $1 million in a factory. Right?
I would hope not.
So
otherwise, that better be a damn good toaster.
But this ideal of machines paying machines and things like that has really started developing. Only paying for stuff at specifically the time of use, so that you're not overpaying for products and services. Well, if you're going to be paying in Satoshis, right, Lightning Network or otherwise, you're going to need to be validating your own transaction to make sure that the money's real. Yeah, something running around over there.
Underneath the house, like there's buckets along our bottom, like near our porch. Sorry guys, got distracted, which distracts him. Awesome, I know. Okay. Andy Anderson says, rich people act poor and poor people act rich. I know, isn't that like, I mean, I remember begging my mother for a pair of like Jinkos that were like $200 freaking dollars or some crap, and they already came with like holes in the like seamed edges of their gigantic like pockets and their horribleness, because I don't know if anybody knows what those are. Look them up. They're horrible. They're horrible. But yes. And it's like, that was out of my means. And yet, like, it was already half worn and worn out. And it was done on purpose for $200, where it's like, really? I could have picked up anything. Anything. But no.
I mean, the eye of society and to be honest, what are you really supposed to do to be a cool person in society's eyes? You're not really supposed to work. No. Right? And you're just supposed to be really flashy
and really smart.
Yeah.
Now, because before it was you could be dumb and no, now you need to actually be educated as well and flashy. Well-traveled. Just the standard.
The standard D-bag.
Yeah. Yes.
We're like, I didn't touch any of these news topics.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Okay, Vengeance says, preps, you could ramp up your egg operation if necessary, stack up on all of the compost, let it rot, turn your chickens loose on the worms and bugs, free bird food. I like the way you think. We were actually talking about that like yesterday, day before, where you were saying like, maybe we should try to start getting bunnies and more things to actually
produce the amount of food that comes out of this.
Yes, to actually eat more of the things that we have here.
Yes, of course, every year it's an ideal of how to make, because this is a hobby behind us. So it is to try to make it somewhat do something. And this year I'm trying to see if I can't raise some peacocks and turkeys, little ones, to sell, to buy the feed for a majority of the year, hopefully. But I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. I don't know how we're off on this topic, Samantha.
I'm just reading the chat, man. Talk to Vengeance. Although I like it. All right. So.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about letting the chickens out into the yard more, so because they free range around here. They eat everything that there is, and we have enough woods out back that they've started exploring out there. So we were thinking about making an outside hut.
Yes. And we also live it's not awesome during tick season. So I'm very happy because they eat every bug that's out here. Like everything. Huh. Creepy crawlies. All right. Andy Anderson says that he likes the backyard lights. Thank you.
Yes. I've been trying to pick up a few extra strands here and there as I find them at 50% off, and I got a couple bucks in my pocket.
John from Malibu says that he has been listening to Trace Mayer and talking about Austrian economics. Mm-hmm. He's saying he's loving it.
Yeah.
Learning. Your little brain's getting all squishy. I know. It sucks when you go all stagnant. I was just saying that I think I need to do something, read more.
The problem is how do you move the masses? How do you get the guy that is working the factory, the 9 to 5, right? And is just thinking, oh, I got to get a home. I got to take care of my wife. I got to take care of my children. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that because this is what's told to me. How do you get him to wake up before it's too late? These are the real questions on how we start changing from 1% to 20% of the world into Bitcoin.
That is true too. It's like, how do you unzombie a zombie? Like, how do you get the life sucking to stop long enough for them to be all like, oh crap?
See,
you're right.
The problem I find is that the easiest way to turn people onto Bitcoin is to show them the problem with the dollar. And most time people won't see the problem with the dollar until they have the unfortunateness of being on the underside of the dollar.
Yeah.
Where they've been on the bottom and they've had nothing and they've had to come up again or they've had to figure it out.
Zaza is here. Vengeance says that he refuses to buy worn out clothes. I know. Oh God, I hate the old, like the teenage me was such a D-bag. It's not even funny. Whew, when I look back on the things I said and did, I just thought I was at all. Whew. All right. Andy Anderson says that he can't see me butchering a rabbit. No, that is not me. I would not be killing any
it
of
would
these
be a
things.
soul me doing this kind of deal.
I am a really horrible hypocrite where I like meat. I like meat a lot. It is a big chunk of my diet, and yet I would probably starve before actually killing a living thing if it was me and them in the same, cave or whatever. Yep. I know.
Samantha would be a vegetarian.
I would just eat what it was eating, right? Like, hey, bunny, what is that? A leaf? Let me see. Can I get
50,
one?
50-50 on that.
Can I get a nibble? Oh, I am 4am is here. He said, hi, just got here. Hi.
I'm glad that you could make it, my friend. Yes.
Okay. I don't know. You want to do
well,
thing,
I mean, I do have a little bit here. Let's see. $1 million bond to get that Griffin guy.
Oh,
the Ethereum developer who went over to South Korea and then said that he wasn't a U.S. citizen anymore and all that other stuff.
Yeah, total D-bag, dude. I remember this one. Yes, I remember him.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go do that, you just didn't have to announce it to the world.
That's true.
But so he was arrested back on November 28th, right? And he tried to get bail on the 26th, the day after Christmas, and he was denied bail while he had an emergency bail hearing or appeal or whatever they call them.
Probably an appeal or something.
Appeal. Well, they went ahead and they gave him a $1 million bond bail. A bunch of his family members put up their residence as collateral to get him out.
$1 million?
Mm-hmm. Looks like they're telling him to stay out of California, but he has a weird kind of situation where they're letting him travel. He could go to Canada or Mexico or like the Caribbean Isles or that island that he says that he's from.
But how?
I mean, I don't know. He said that he gave up his U.S. citizenship, so I don't know if they're really counting that or not.
But he can come to the United States, just not California?
Yeah, they don't want him in California. He's supposed to be staying with his family in Alabama, though, for moral support.
So he's from some tiny island, but
no. He's from Alabama. That's where his family is. That's where he's supposed to be staying.
Okay, but so he's Alabamian.
He changed his citizenship to some small island.
And that's how he's not a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, but I still think they're considering him a U.S. citizen because they could throw the book at him and give him like 20 years in prison.
That is so weird. Zaza thinks it's weird too. Weird. See? Weird.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be this guy, right? We all know what happened to Ross, right? The Silk Road guy. They like to make examples of people in the cryptocurrency industry to like show that they
true too,
right. Yes. It's like they're going to throw the book at this guy because this guy was supposedly over there showing South Korea how to go ahead and use cryptocurrency to avoid sanctions, which we've all said is eventually going to happen. But he went and waved the flag of it, which he definitely shouldn't have done. So since he waved that flag, they're definitely going to throw the book at him. And I would be very leery and I would not be surprised if he gets all 20 years. I mean, how many people have signed that petition to get Ross out and he's still in there?
I know. How
long has it been? I mean, those FBI guys, stealing the Bitcoin on the backside of it all. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure that it sounds like another one of those stories in the making.
It's like, I don't know. It's propaganda-ish.
Yeah,
it really
especially if in 20 years we look back on all of this and every country has cryptocurrency and we can't sanction each other anymore, and that is just a chess piece that has gone off the board due to the Pandora's box of cryptocurrency being open, and we're still looking back being like, oh yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
And he's still going to be in prison, like just getting out.
Wow. I know, right? Okay. So John from Malibu says, I tell everybody about Bitcoin and blockchain. I told the young mom who sold me my son's bed last night all about it. Made her write it down. Yes. I am says, poor guy. If he has dual citizenship, big mistake. John says that he preaches this stuff all the time. I know.
I just try to
does Eugene.
I just, instead of now trying to ram all the Bitcoin stuff, I just try to get people to turn to the channel. I just say, yeah, just hashtag Bitcoin and coffee, one word, look it up, watch a few videos, explore the YouTube on your own. It's a great way to learn stuff. And I think I actually seen that in 2020, YouTube was going to make a push towards education because you can learn anything via YouTube now.
That you can.
Yeah.
Thanks to,
I've learned quite a bit in the last 5 years from YouTube. So
you could Google, Google, YouTube, anything, and somebody will be teaching you how to do it.
Not that they should, but
you're true. True.
All right, anything else going on in the chat over there? I got one last little one that I can take care of.
I am says, if he renounced his U.S. citizenship, he should have never came back to it to visit. That's what I'm thinking. Bro, go to that little island that you claimed as your thingy, right? Because maybe they don't have extradition either, so then you'll be good. Did you do your research?
So, Bitcoin Cash and the other Bitcoin.
Shut up.
Well,
the other.
No, it's just the other Bitcoin.
Uh-huh.
The other Bitcoin is that Bitcoin Satoshi's vision.
No, shut up.
69.44% of their hash rate is now controlled by an unknown miner.
That's super awesome. Like, wow.
Sober awesome? Yeah.
Super.
So it's very sobering is what I thought, actually. It's like, well, what's next? Are we going to be seeing a 51% attack? Are we going to be seeing somebody trying to take over control of the chain, right? Because he who controls over 51% controls the blockchain. And we don't know who this person is. Not that I own any Bitcoin Cash, now that I'm going to start mining, not that I actually really care all that much, but just funny to see that, you know, they did claim to be Bitcoin. Well, this is a problem. This only pretty much happened, though, I guess, from what I read in the article, is that some of the mining pools pulled out of Bitcoin Cash mining, and they've down powered like 50% of what they were mining, so it opened up the hash rate to this unknown miner to be able to go and take it up. So let's keep our ear to the ground with this one, right? Let's see what the next big problem is going to be for Bitcoin Cash.
But I mean, okay, yes.
Well, I mean, you're not going to have 70% of the network and not use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something going on.
All of that Bitcoin Cash.
I'm just super greedy. No, I'm not doing anything. I just want it all. Like, what? Let me hoard. Right? No, I doubt it. All right. Zaza says they plant seeds over time. However you got to do it. See, I usually only get into really depth things with people when they've hounded me. I do tell them about our YouTube channel now. I used to pretend like I had no idea what was going on.
What?
Ever. Be like, no, that's not my voice. I don't know what you're... No. And the man that you see pick me up, that's not the man on the screen. No. All right. Oh, well, John from Malibu says that he's not shy because he's been on stage since he was 17. I couldn't even do speech class. I took it in high school and I took it in college, and that was a hell no. No.
I don't really care what anybody else thinks.
I just can't do in front of people. I don't care what people think of me, but for some reason that whole with everybody looking at you and all the heads, not cool. Like, no.
Well, that was about all I have. So if there's nothing more going on in the chat over there, Samantha, of course, you guys have an opportunity once more to be able to put any comments, questions. Just say hi and goodbye because we're going to be winding down this episode. But you look like you might have something over there, Samantha.
Well, Bitcoin Jake is here.
Bitcoin Jake.
He says, not your hardware, not your hash.
Yeah.
I am says, someone has a vendetta to revenge Roger Ver. I mean, they have to have some kind of game plan. You really don't have all of that. Like, it just be like, I just want it. Makes me feel good.
We got a bunch of thumbs down.
We did get like 5.
Yes.
That's cool. You know.
So if you're watching, let us know what's up. All right. You know, love and hate comes from the same place, but we would really love. I mean, I know that we have our standard one person. I don't know if they just went and made some more fake accounts or if they got their friends and family.
Extras, yeah.
But there was like 4 thumbs down on the last couple of videos that weren't there like earlier today.
Cool. Yeah, I know. I was at work and he was like, so yeah, we have it. I was like, oh man. Maybe that's just what happens when you get more views, you get more haters. Benson gave us a $5.
What?
Oh yes, and it's a little GIF.
A GIF, yeah.
Yeah, because it does things. It says keep it up. What?
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
We
it
love
means
you,
a lot.
Benson.
Yeah, we're getting close. That'll put us up to like $54 or $53. So I mean, we'll have to break the $100 threshold next month in order to get it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we'd be looking at right now.
Yeah, we actually haven't looked in a minute because, you know, YouTube and Google made us sad. Like, it was not like,
of course, as we tell you guys all the time, you know, we're not trying to make any money off anybody. We're not trying to do anything like that. We really want Bitcoin to succeed. Bitcoin has done great things for us. We think Bitcoin is going to do great things for the world. You know, the free help desk is it's a small service I can provide in my spare time in order to help not leave that bad taste in your mouth by getting suckered in by scammers or buying tutorials and, you know, all of those websites and audiobooks that might not really help you, right? They might be trying to sell you their own agenda.
You never know what people do. I mean, seriously.
All right. And then going on the chat, one last check-in before we go ahead and close this down.
Josh says, had hash for breakfast. Waitress wrote hash a nice day on the receipt. Zaza says he thinks that the same people thumb down Adam too, that he had more than usual thumbs down. And Vention says that he thinks the thumbs down are probably coming from the false flaggers.
Oh, right. The people that supposedly got us our strike, because we were one of the channels that got the strike. So, and we did notice that we had a big uptick of like 40 or 50 new subscribers.
Yep.
The video that we had not yesterday, but the day before, that had higher than standard viewing count because it was up
like 20 or 30.
Yeah, it was up like 20 or 30 views. I'm hoping all of you guys out there that are new, that are watching, we're real around here, so we just want to talk to you guys in the chat. We want you guys to give the thumbs up. We want you to comment down below after I read them. I comment back. I give them the hearts. I try to pin the really good ones to the top.
Bitcoin Jake says, I can't say Dick. What if someone's name is Dick? It was a Hyde show. Apparently you can't. I don't know. Funny. And you're right, because maybe it needs to be capitalized, and then you could. Oh. Like a name. What?
Or we should just call them Richard. Is that going to do it, Samantha?
All right.
Yes? I can see her shaking her head as she's reading.
I'm trying to read. I'm reading. Okay. We're good.
All right, you guys, I really appreciate you coming out here and hanging out this evening for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. We're going to try to get out here, right? We've been trying to get out here. Hopefully we don't get hit with any more strikes or anything crazy, and we continue to bring you these episodes. I'm really looking forward to 2020, right?
Yes.
We got the halving coming up. I think we got a lot of good, positive momentum to be able to push through the whole year. Let's not keep stressing out about the price. It's about more than that. And I keep bringing this up, and I'm thinking that I need to start trying to focus a little more on the channel, that it is about the revolution. It is about the fact that no matter what, the dollar bill is never going to save us at the end of the day. So forget the price. Let's stop talking about selling out right? Because that's what we're doing. If you sell off your Bitcoin, is you're selling out.
Sell out.
I mean, I talk about having some extra bags and trying to make life a little easier, and we all have to do what we have to do, right, to get by. But I'm not going to become a no coiner.
Oh, that's a no.
All right, you guys, take care of each other. Have a great evening. Drive safe, all right? Don't drink and drive, whatever you do. Not worth it. And remember, keep that BTC safe. Later.
Bye, guys.